And they taught me so that I grew up believing that nobody can keep you down, hold you back, and discourage you unless you let them. The freedom struggle is an act of culture and an act of historical reclaiming and reconstructing, as Amilcar Cabral once said, reconstructing ourselves. Too many bourgeois Negroes betrayed their culture and their history and compromised their souls to the racist, capitalist, colonial system for selfish, greedy. They don't want to connect with the community. They're the first ones to put down our children, call them bad and all these other things without looking at the conditions that we've had to live and grow through. But I'm so glad tonight that we are empowered, not by sellouts, but by numerous cultural icons. John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Sarah Vaughan, Betty Carter, Al Jarreau, a few in jazz, Billie Holiday, in the blues, James Cleveland, Shirley Center in gospel, Gardner Taylor, William Jones, and Sandy Ray, Martin King, and others in ministry. Angela Davis and James Baldwin writing essays. Richard Wright, Ralph Ellison, and Toni Morrison writing novels. And so many more have given us an arsenal to protect and support Black endurance, life-preserving content against the madness, suicide, and self-destructive behavior. Let me close with this story. A farmer found a young lion cub and raised that lion cub to become a sheep. That lion associated with sheep. It acted like sheep. It sounded like sheep. And it thought, the lion thought it was sheep. Then one day a lion jumped out of the woods. And all the other sheep scattered. But this particular lion was dead. And when the jungle lion saw the sheep lion, he asked, "What in the world are you doing here among sheep?" And the sheep lion asked, "Please don't eat me. Don't kill me." Well, the good lion, the jungle lion, said, "Come on and go with me." And he took that sheep lion to a lake. And he made the sheep lion look into the lake. And when the sheep lion saw his true reflection, that he was a lion and not a sheep, he started roaring like a lion. He was no longer a sheep. He was in fact a lion. I come to tell us tonight, we're not sheep. We're not second class. We're not inferior. We are lions. I dare you to stand up like a lion and roar. Roar.
my third book. So if you need any editing, I'm on the case. Now that was a serious teaching for us tonight. I'm still teaching at the high school, college level, and a lot of those issues that you brought up tonight. We need you teaching in front of the teachers. We need you teaching in front of the parents to remind us of this issue of self-hate and how to challenge it. They're doing a lot of teaching and telling us of how we can teach students to move away from suicide because it's very prominent, even in our community. And that was just unheard of, years ago. But that self-hate must be challenged. It must be attacked. And thank you so much for those revelations, nugget after nugget after nugget. Okay, everybody ought to know how to roll. We want to hear the history of the Otation Creative Arts Ensemble. So Mama Donna from the Otation Creative Arts.
He said, Kwanza, Habari Gani. This is a celebration. All right, thank you very much. Now, in this particular part of the program, I'd like to introduce Sister Ruby, one of the Otation dancers, who is going to present to you the history of Otation.
I see.
All right, I have to say Habari Gani again. Habari Gani. All right, so we're living our life with purpose. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Otation. Otation is a Swahili word meaning to cause a dream. In 1972, Sister Amatula Salim's dream of keeping the culture alive came true. Now that's manifesting, right? We're talking about manifesting and making things real. Her dream came true, to keep culture alive. She used the power of Otation to create the Otation Dance and Music Ensemble. The group was established as a community outreach program for the city of Winston-Salem's Recreation Department. Under Sister Salim, who trained and performed with the legendary Catherine Dunham and Babatunji Olatunji, many talented youth in low-income communities were given the opportunity to experience African and African-American culture through music and dance. Otation Creative Arts Ensemble is still based in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and now with the name Otation Creative Arts Ensemble. The group remains committed to numerous community and grassroots organizations.
That's right.
Having found the balance between education and entertainment, Otation has continued its mission of promoting cultural arts and education to audience across the nation. Currently, Otation is extremely active with various civic groups, churches, colleges, and school systems in the southeastern United States, with a dance and music repertoire which consists of African, modern, jazz, and Caribbean styles. This professional ensemble continues its mission to grow and educate, dedicated to its position in the culture for the future. This talented and exciting ensemble performs with live music taken from cultures around the world. Otation Creative Arts Ensemble.
Thank you, Sister Ruby. Now, at this juncture of the program, it get a little emotional, but as I was telling the dancers, it's okay for us to be emotional about our beloved Hashim. We have to be emotional because that's a part of who we are. We have to be okay with laughing and crying. So with that said, we're going to dedicate this portion of the program to our beloved Hashim Salem.
I say,
Some of you know him for many, many, many years
I say,
here in this Winston-Salem community. He always told me, Mama Donna, we gotta keep a culture alive.
that's right.
This is what we are doing with the Otasia Company without him to propel his legacy forward. It has not been easy. It has been very difficult.
I say,
But we're still standing and we're still here and we're prepared to keep this cultural dream alive.
I say, keep on keeping on.
Yes, ma'am. So at this point, I would like to bring up a few of the guys who have known Baba Hashim for a very long time. And I would like to ask Dr. Mendez to return to the podium because as I understand, he went to school with Hashim. So could you please share a few words with us?
I say, I say.
Thank you. As you mentioned, it's very sad, but our culture has been built on tragedy and sadness. But when I was concluding talking about the creativeness of our culture, that's what you all represent. And you have kept alive. Even though everybody hasn't jumped on board, we lose. But our friendship remained tight in spite of whatever the outcome may have been. But the interesting thing about being in New York and connecting with Harlem, you know, I was born in Harlem and then later moved to the Bronx, but Harlem was like the richest community when it came to culture in America.
I say,
Everybody came through Harlem.
that's right.
And we were privileged to listen to Malcolm. I had the opportunity to meet Malcolm one time, which was by accident, but I cherish that forever.
I say,
But Hashim would tell you, as we used to talk about it all the time, we have no existence outside of our culture. Culture defines who we are, where we are, and where we're going.
I say,
So we got to, Mama, keep this alive
I say,
and share it with our young people so they will continue it in the future. And as I tell folks, you don't have to hate anybody to be yourself.
that's right, that's
Be
right.
yourself.
I
Love
say,
yourself.
And next I would like to call up Baba Oseku, who is a long-time member, long time. I'm talking 40 years, that's a long time. A long-time member of Otasia. Baba Oseku, just a minute.
I say,
Let me correct, I haven't been with Otasia 40 years. Hard for me to talk about Hashim. You can feel what. And a young brother by the name of Charles Green.
I say,
Who I was sitting with, came over, we were talking, he said, man, we gotta meet this brother Hashim. You gotta meet this brother.
I
And he
see.
was right. I met Hashim. I've been doing this for a while. I got mileage, you know, I'm over the speed limit. And ego What he said, he did.
Yes.
If he couldn't, he let you know.
Yes.
More than music. Music was his vehicle.
Oh, yes.
But his spirit spoke
Yes.
very strong.
Yes, yes.
And when you've been doing this for a while, you know the difference.
Oh, yes.
You know the difference. You don't have to be a musician.
Yes.
Because I was very shy coming up. But music allowed me to do something without paying attention to what was going on out there. You know?
I say.
And Hashim took me in like this.
Yes.
And Hashim said, you know, you gotta meet somebody.
I say.
Hashim.
I say.
Baragani.
Nia.
My name is Rico. I'm from Harlem, and in 1976, I moved to the Bronx. I got a knock on the door. There was a woman named Untitled Chapter.
I say.
She asked if I would come down and play with a group called Rotation. She had formed in North Carolina. 2 years later, I was 19. Went down to 14th Street Rec, and there was Baba Hashim and Brother George sitting there playing some old rusty dusty congas. I pulled out my rusty dusty conga, and I started playing. I was 19. I'm going to be 64 in a couple of days.
I say. I
I've
say.
been with Rotation ever since. I love Baba Hashim.
Say.
I think about it every day because I see my drum every day.
I
That
say.
reminds me of that brother. He was not only a leader for me, but he was my friend. He was my brother.
I say.
That feels good.
I say. I
That
say.
feels good. So now, it's time for me to speak to you for a moment. Maybe I can't move this mic, but it's okay. But I would like to recite a poem for you called Spirit. Heart and soul, mind and body, but the essence of our existence is spirit. What is it about the human spirit that gives us the courage and the strength to beat insurmountable odds, to survive and endure despite unbelievable circumstances? We believe that it all began in Africa, the motherland where for eons the Creator heard us when we cried,
I
saw
say.
us when we faltered,
I say.
and helped us along the way.
I say.
And now more than ever, it is time for us to get back in touch with the spirit that lives inside of all of us.
I say.
Without it, we are less than whole. But with it, there is nothing we cannot overcome.
I say.
Because the essence of our existence is spirit.
Yeah.
I say.
Now, get ready to liven it up a little bit.
I say.
Y'all ready to party with me?
I say.
I'm going to teach you a Congolese song called Elanga. Say Elanga.
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 Now your quick study is 3 syllables, well, almost 3 syllables, but it's 3 words. Elanga. 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 So repeat after me. Elanga.
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 Got it? So I'll start and then you join in. Now once you join in, you keep singing and I'm gonna sing another part.
Okay.
And it's gonna be all so African beautiful.
All right.
All right, here we go. So Mosi means one in Kiswahili. Zole means 2. Tatu means 3. And Ya means let's get down. Clap your hands. Elanga. 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 Can I hear you? Elanga. 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 The first dance that we will present is a piece called Elima. Elima. Say it. Elima. 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 And Elima is a dance from the Congo, from Central Africa. It is a dance that is performed by the young people in the village as a pre-war dance to the actual war. So at this time, sit back, put your seatbelts on, and welcome Otasha Creative Arts Ensemble. Elima, Elima! We going to war. All right. We gotta raise it up. Elima, Elima! Everybody, because that ain't strong enough, I'm sorry. Elima, Elima! Oh yeah! Elima, Elima! Oh
Good evening. I am here to present the community awards this evening. And tonight we have the honor of recognizing two gentlemen from Winston-Salem who are truly fulfilling NIA. Frankie Gibbs was born in Winston-Salem to Shirley Gibbs and Frankie Washington. Frankie Gibbs was educated at Quality Education Academy, and he was educated at North Carolina A&T State University. Frankie Gibbs was a troubled child growing up, and after experiencing some trouble in his life, he changed his life and saw a need in the world for his voice and his testimony. He started Hope Dealers Outreach 10 years ago. He started Hope Dealers Outreach 10 years ago. That tells you a lot about this young man to start an organization where he finds it necessary to distribute hope. So we're going to give him a round of applause. Hope Dealers Outreach continues to inspire the community and the people of the community. Frankie Gibbs led one of the biggest protests in the state of North Carolina over the summer during the George Floyd era. He has hosted over 200 peace gatherings for victims of gun violence. Frankie Gibbs has traveled around the country speaking to young men and women about life and how they can make a change so that they can see what they want to see in the world. He is the father of Harper Rose and John Gibbs, and the soon-to-be husband of Vanessa Ross. He loves God, he loves his family, and he loves helping others around this world. His motto is love isn't love until you give it away. It is with extreme pleasure that I present to you the Kwanza Award, a celebration of family, community, and culture for the principle NIA, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. And that is exactly what Hope Dealers Outreach is doing. Frankie.
Peace and blessings to you. I give honor to God, who's first in my life. He's the reason why I am able to walk. He's the reason why I'm able to see and talk. So all honor go to the Most High for everything He has done. I want to give great honor to Bishop John Heath tonight. Reason being is because of him, I am the man who I am today. When everybody else in the church world gave up on me and walked away, he stood with me. When everybody else threw me away, he told me, son, it's going to be all right. And when I lost him in 2015 in my senior year in high school going on to college, I asked God the question, why? Why him? Why you had to take my mentor? And God laid on my heart through the Honorable Mother Gertrude Stacks. She said to me in the office that he had to get me to this place so I can go to the next place. And everything that he taught me is carrying me through this place. So I give honor and I thank you all, and I will continue to do what was instilled in me to do. And that was to uplift my people and my community. Peace and blessings to you.
Goes to Terrence Petry. Terrence is not able to be with us tonight, but Terrence Petry, also known as TP, is an entrepreneur, athlete, artist, and advisor. Born and raised in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Terrence attended North Forsyth High School, where he accomplished a successful career as a student athlete and amassed numerous awards. After high school, Terrence was named a Carolina Covenant Scholar, a full scholarship awarded to top students attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. While at UNC Chapel Hill, Terrence continued his journey as a student athlete, as a scholar, and a player for the North Carolina Tar Heels basketball team. In 2011, he was signed as a recording artist under Jamla Records. During the same year, after graduating from UNC Chapel Hill with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Journalism and Mass Communication, Terrence was handpicked by the famed Jordan brand designer as an intern for Nike. This experience motivated him to start his own full-service design firm, Petry Graphics, which he successfully ran for 3 years, and had clients that were multinational. In order to advance his entrepreneurial ventures, he moved away from sports to pursue his master's in business administration at Seton Hall University. While attending graduate school, Terrence received several awards, including the Stillman School of Business Capstone Award. As a professional, Terrence has been a licensed financial advisor for 6 years, where he started at Merrill Lynch. He now runs his own financial advisory under Thrivent Financial. TP is well recognized for his business success, being a former college basketball player for the UNC Tar Heels, and as an artist signed to Jamar Records. Terrence is married, as the father of 3 children, and in addition to his many talents, he is very active in helping others and founded the TP is My Hero Foundation with his mother in 2020 to give back to the community. And he has done just that. At Thanksgiving, Terrence came to Brown and Douglas and distributed over 100 meals to people for Thanksgiving. So, Terrence, we thank you for your philanthropy and for your spirit of community and for what you're doing to make a difference. Thank you.
All right, good to see everybody here this evening. It's fortunate that we can join together, especially at this time. Our number are few, but the spirit is mighty. So I'm so glad to be here. We have had a chance to come and get together and space out and enjoy the company. Something dawned on me. Just a real quick word. I feel like it's on my heart to say. I don't want to say a whole lot about Baba Hashim, but just a little bit. I'm been in Winston for so long, people think that I live here, but I live in Greensboro. And I've been coming to Winston ever since I met Baba Hashim. I give a lot of credit to my dad, Alan Boyd Sr., for raising me to be the man that I am. I think he always preached. Too many times he said, "Bruce, be a man." And he wouldn't explain it, but over time, that has been a mouthful of what he really meant in the sentiment of the meaning and the sentiment of him saying that. And the word Baba means father. And anybody who knows me knows how much the drum means to me. And drum would not, I don't believe, be with me if it had not been for Baba Hashim. When I met them, I was like, I don't know what that is, but that's cool, and I want to do it. And I met him and Baba George at the old shop, and he was like, if you want to learn, I'm over there every morning on Saturday morning. You want to drive over? I'll teach you. And that was the beginning of a long apprenticeship, friendship. And as a Baba and as a father, he was a more than capable person for me to be, for the spirit, for me to be delivered from my dad's hand to his hand. Because he taught me so much about the drum and beyond. So I didn't want the moment to be left. Because a lot of you see me, but I don't know if you knew that I started with Bob. These men saw me when I couldn't say nothing. and so I look up to them and I hold them in a similar regard as I hold Bob. And I didn't want it to be left. Moving on to my purpose for being in front of you. We kind of got the notion, the new crew of us, that okay, I'm gonna pause right here and have a poem. I'm not supposed to be talking now. My sister, Elise, please come.
I see.
What is your name? We came in chains, bound. We made it far. What is your name? See, it rings in my head. The lost tongue, the lost language that keeps me bound. What is your name? See, I remember. My dreams were so vivid. I can see them dancing in the faraway sun. You see them? They're dancing for you and me. They're dancing for freedom. What is your name? It was ripped from my voice, and now I proclaim that I may never know my name. What is your name? It was given to you through the drums, through the dance. Just allow for the rhythms to enter your mind. It will take this on this journey. Just find your lost tongue. What is your name? It was given to you and me. It's a sign of freedom. It's the sign of strength. It's the sign of kings and queens before us. It's paving the ways of where we need to be. Proclaim your name. Stand strong on your name. Know from which you came because it is your true name. What is your name? Where I belong, it was the inner peace inside of me. So when you're asked, what is your name? I stand strong and proclaim my name will forever be freedom. It will never be bound in chains. It's over. I will never look down. I will always keep my eyes on the sun. I know my name. So when you're asked, what is your name? Look to the hills from which you came. Because God gave you your name.
Take two. All right. We in a group, the current folks is in there, we got the idea, we was thinking, and that we've been blessed to be in our community for 40, 50 years now. And so many of you are old heads to seeing us. And we begin to think like, do people have an idea of what we're doing? You know, what is are we just out here just moving and shaking and making up beats and making up dances, or what are we doing? You know, because Kwanza, not so much to this community, but many communities, we're still in a phase of trying to show it. Yeah. You know, not quite like living it out. It's just Kwanza, it's what it is. Whereas this here is a hip audience, but every community is not. And the same thing with the drum and dance. And so just a little bit about this particular dance that we're doing, so we can kind of begin raising the level of, so y'all can see it and you kind of listen and cue, and I think that's that dance they did at the community center. This dance that we're doing this evening is part of a larger ceremony. When this ceremony is done, this ceremony is part of a big celebration called Bundiani. Say that, please. Bundiani. Bundiani. Bundiani is a celebration of the children. And the kids come out and they're doing their thing and having a great time and dancing and whatnot. And one of the parts that happens during that time is that the Society of Women called Mundiani have before the ceremony have taken some of the girls who are chosen for that particular time and gone and shown them the information and science that they need to know. That's all on that I can really say, because I'm not an expert. And so, yeah, the women have taken the girls and shown them the knowledge and the science of what they need to know at this point in their lives. The group of girls chooses 2 or 3 girls who are the best of them to present in dance form the dance Mandiana. And so it's part of a larger thing, but it is becoming very, very popular here on this side of the Atlantic. But with everything, as we keep on going, more gets revealed, and our understanding of these things that we've been doing, and I've been showing this by the Bible for a long time, but as we travel back and forth now, it's common for folks from there to be over here, you know, where the Malinke lived. If we all saw, this is the generation that saw the original Roots come on TV, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And what tribe was Kunta from? What tribe was Kunta from? He always said that he was a proud what?
Mandingo.
Mandingo, exactly. Mandingo is the English term of the word Malinke. Malinke is the people and area where this particular dance comes from, which to me, I always make a connection to that part in root, because it's no accident that that story got told and publicized, almost to kind of throw a rock and give us ripples of truth that we're not just anybody over here. We are traceable. We are a people. We come from somewhere. We may be different now, but we have a history that precedes enslavement. We were not slaves. We were enslaved. We were not slaves. So, Manjani is a small piece of that we've been able to learn and put together and present to you. I hope you enjoy it.
If I can just ask for a quick moment, just give everybody a hand that's participating. As we get ready to bring this wonderful celebration to a close, I cannot first stop without at least acknowledging my mentor once again, Dr. John Mendez. Come on, just give it up for Dr. Mendez. The lion is still going. Come on, let's celebrate the message tonight. I wanted to take about 1.5 minutes and talk about something that is critical also in Kwanza, and that is a healthy leading and healthy living. I wanted to ask you to think for just 1 second on what it means to live healthy and what it means to live very holistic. African Americans, please hear me clearly, are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop Alzheimer's than whites. We also know that women are the highest risk factors for Alzheimer's. And we also know that if you have Alzheimer's in your family, your risk factors increase significantly. And so what we're here to do during Kwanza is also to raise awareness that the National Alzheimer's Association says that African Americans only represent 5% of Alzheimer's studies. My brothers and my sisters, what that means is when a cure is discovered, the last thing you want to happen is for us who are 2 to 3 times more likely to get the disease and it not work for us. How do we change that narrative? It's by people like Dr. Felicia Pickett Long, who's been an advocate in our community, raising awareness on Alzheimer's prevention. I want you to know that diversity, if I could just get you to shout diversity, can you shout diversity? Come on. That simply means that we have to be at the table when the cures are being developed for us when we are 2 to 3 times more likely to get the disease. And so in my closing, when I go to CVS, I want to make sure that the medicine on the counter works for me. And the only way to make sure that that happens is I have to be involved. In the back, I want to tell you that we have for our community only 5 cities in America. And Winston-Salem was chosen as one of those cities to have an Alzheimer's prevention study. It is cutting edge. And listen, there are no pills, there are no medicines, there are no prescriptions. The only thing you need to do, the research is clear that if you improve your diet and you improve your exercise, the literature has says that it is proven to give us a reduced risk factor for Alzheimer's. Can somebody just clap right there? So, in my last statement, I want to issue us a charge. Out of all 5 states, Winston-Salem was first. They gave us 400 slots. And I'm going to apologetic when I say this. Some 300 slots are for non-African Americans. Somebody's going to unpack that a little bit later on tonight. Out of 400, we only have 87 who are African American. So you can tell what that means in our community in Winston-Salem. If a cure is developed in Winston, that we are only 23% represented. And so I'm asking you to accept the charge tonight. There's a table in the back. Listen, at the very least, you have to be between 60 and 79, and you don't have to exercise well, and you're in. They pay you to be in the study, and get this, you get a life coach for 2 years. He's in the back already, Mr. Carlos Davis. Would you raise your hand? Listen, for 2 years, he'll work with you for free, no charge at all. This is a cutting-edge study, and I'm asking you, as a local pastor, if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be here. Can I say that again? We're here to change the narrative. We, as African Americans, will get involved, and we will be on the cutting edge, and we will be a part of that new cure. Thank you. And we'll see you.
This has been a wonderful evening. And while I was, a little girl in the back drew me when I was up here.